Hey there, YouTube family, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with DJ. And I, of course, am your host, Chef DJ. So tonight we will be making shrimp and grits with andouille sausage. Sort of like a Creole shrimp and grits, if you will. I don't know what to call it, but we are going to make that. So get your seasoning cabinet open and let's start cooking. All right, and so for tonight's recipe, you will need a half pound of colossal shrimp. You will need one andouille sausage that has been peeled out of the casing and thawed. You will need half of a yellow bell pepper for the sweet taste, half of a red bell pepper for the roasted taste, and you will need half of a green bell pepper for the regular, type of Italian taste, if you will. We're going to use maybe the whole yellow onion. You need about 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. You're going to need 3/4 cup of salted butter. Half of that is going to go in your grits. The other half is going to saute these veggies. You're going to need about 3/4 cup of shredded yellow cheese. Now here's the thing. You're going to need some old-fashioned or quick grits, depending on how you like to wait for grits or how you like your grits, how quick you want them to be finished, if you will. Here's the thing. I don't measure my grits, but if all else fails, go to the back of the container and you will be able to measure out your grits accordingly. I'm not going to measure my grits. I just pour them inside there and I just do what I got to do. For seasoning, you will need some Old Bay seasoning. You'll need about 2 teaspoons of that. And you will also need some basil. You need about a teaspoon of that. Now that you know what we need, let's go ahead and cook up our Cajun shrimp and grits. Oh yeah, what was I thinking? You're going to need a medium-sized pot for your grits. And of course, the good old cast iron skillet. Definitely going to need that. Lock that flavor in there. First things first, let's go ahead and drop our andouille sausage in this here skillet. Cook that bad boy up. All right. Let's go. All right, so now we've got our grits inside the pot. What we're going to do, we put that in here. We're not going to add salt to the grits. Some like to add salt to it, but because the butter is salted, you don't need to add it unless you absolutely want to. I think it calls for hypertension, but hey, to each his own. If you like it, go ahead, have at it. I would say to just go ahead and add the salted butter, not add salt to that. What we're going to do is cook this till it gets to a boil. I like to keep a whisk as well. Keeps the clumps out of your grits. So I'll put that inside there, put it on top of the stove on a high heat until it comes to a boil, and then we would do with any other, we would just cover it up, turn it on low, let it cook, periodically checking it with the whisk, making sure you don't get no clumps, making sure it doesn't stick. I do have a story time. You see that burn? That came from grits. I kind of feel like how Al Green felt a little bit to a degree, so I know it's painful. Be sure to stay away from the hot grits. Be careful. Let's go. Now we can go ahead and peel our shrimp. If you haven't noticed in previous videos, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch and you'll see what I'm about to say. I like to do all of my prep work first. To me, it makes things seem a little bit easier. It's less time consuming. Get all the prep out the way. Do the shelling and the cutting and the chopping and all that. Get that out the way so you can get down to the nitty gritty and go ahead and make the meal. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and clear out our shrimp. They're already deveined. I bought them already deveined, but we're just going to peel them. Get all the shelling off of it. All right, let's go. All right, so our shrimp have been deveined. So now we can go ahead and add that 2 teaspoons of Old Bay to them. Whoops. There you go. We'll mix that in and let it work. All right, more prep work. So now we can go ahead and get started on our peppers and onion. Let's cut that end off right here. Cut this end off right here. Put that aside. Cut that off right here. It's all about making a pretty presentation. If you haven't noticed, what I've done in the video is I've tried to show in previous videos as well that there are ways to compensate for the saltiness in your food or to adjust accordingly. You don't want to have a salty dish. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you kind of level and balance things out. If you have a salty element already, just take away from the other thing and just, just compensate for it. If you already have salt in the butter, why add salt to the water? You don't want to ruin your meal. Just trying to help you out a little bit. But like I said, if you like the saltiness, hey, go for it. Some people like salty food. I do know some like that. And hey, go for it. If you like it, have at it. Knock yourself out. As for me and my house, we won't be doing that. We won't be doing that. Got to make sure that you keep yourself healthy enough, Some of the foods that we eat, it causes us to have problems, and we bring our own problems upon ourselves. So you want to make sure that you don't do that. You know what I mean? Know what I mean, Vern? Whoever Vern is. All right, let's get this up. We're going to chop these bad boys up. We're not going to make them too small because you want to make a pretty plate. You know what I mean? You want to make the plate pretty. You like how I did that, right? Pretty. Make it nice and pretty. So we're going to dice it just like this, all right? Leave them kind of coarse. Let's do that. Let's leave our veggies coarse. Now what we will chop up kind of fine would be the onion, but not too fine. But hey, if you like to do it like that, like I said before in previous videos, make it all your own. Do what you do. Make it work for you, what you and your family love. You don't have to do it like myself, but I can show you a way to do it. It's all about variety. You know what I mean? Okay, get this out of here. I'm being careful not to cut myself. I just sharpened the knife, as I'm always saying. Always sharpening this knife. It's a good knife. I use it a lot. I use it for everything. And our grits are actually boiling, so let me go ahead and whisk these up and then turn them down and cover them. And while we're actually doing that, when they get a little thicker, we're going to add half of that 3/4 cup of shredded cheese to it. So now you can turn down the heat on your grits as they're boiling to low, cover them, and let them cook. Old-fashioned grits tend to take a little bit longer than your quick grits. Thus, they're quick grits. Cook them quick. Know what I mean? I say nah, I mean a lot because I want to make sure that you understand. You feel me? All right. I love color in a plate. I think a plate with color is exciting. It looks good to eat. You know what I mean? Like, if you have a colorful plate, you're more apt to want to eat it. You see what I mean? All right, so let's chop up our onion. I love chopping veggies. I love chopping veggies. That was one of my favorite things to do. As a child, as an adult, always has been. I just love chopping veggies. All right, let's chop it, chop. Choppy, chop. All right, let's get this here. You know what? We're going to leave these kind of coarse as well. We're not going to cut them too fine. We'll leave them kind of coarse. Let's do that. We're going to throw that inside the pan with our cooked andouille. We're going to get a nice sear. Now, what we're going to do to the andouille is we're going to actually chop it up and add these veggies to that. See how all that color? It's going to be really colorful. It's going to be very colorful. You're going to love it. You're going to love what you eat. Everybody's going to love it. Shrimp and grits is actually awesome together. If you've never had it, try it. Please try it. It's good for breakfast. It's good for dinner. It's just altogether a good meal. It's comforting. Grits put you to sleep too. Did you know that? Grits will take you smooth out. Yeah, let's leave these coarse. I like the way it looks coarse. To me, it looks better. And see, normally I would add bacon to my shrimp and grits, but I'm not adding bacon tonight because you already have pork in there. There's the pork sausage, you know what I mean? There's different type of andouille. There's chicken andouille, there's beef andouille. I like the pork andouille better. I think it tastes better. To me, it does. Has that fat element to it. But like I said, to each his own, make it all your own. Whatever you cook, make it work for you. So we're going to do this and we're going to saute it. Our andouille sausage is just about done. So we're going to chop that bad boy up, throw these veggies in there and saute them all together with that butter. Let's go. Hey, remember those shrimp that we seasoned up? Here they are right here. We're going to drop them inside of a little skillet. A little skillet. Say hello to my little friend. So we're going to throw them inside there, saute these bad boys up with some Crisco. Let's go. Oh man, the grits are just about done. Well, they're actually done, but I'm going to cook them a little bit longer. I don't like my grits to be too gritty, if that makes any sense. So what I'm going to do is add this cheese right here. I'm going to take half of that 3/4 cup of cheese, and we're going to add it to that right here. The rest of the cheese will have some other uses for that. All right, let's go. Our grits are woo-wee, piping hot. So remember that minced garlic that we saw earlier in the beginning of the video? We're going to add those 2 teaspoons, which is a tablespoon, to that. We're going to mix that in there. The reason why I didn't add that with this sauteed veggies because something about garlic, it burns very quick and it calls for an ugly dish. We don't want that. So we're going to throw it inside those grits, mix that all in there, and just get something wonderful going on, all right? The smell is heavenly. Our shrimp is almost done. About 2 more minutes, it'll be finished. So our andouille sausage is done. This right here. We're gonna go ahead and cut this bad boy up. It's hot. Smells wonderful. Slice it really thin. This is the way I like to do it, but some can even crumble it up, which I think I'm probably going to just go ahead and actually cut it a little more. I think I'm going to cut it a little more than this. I think I'm going to do that. Excuse me using this big knife with this little fork. Yeah, we're going to do that. Cut this bad boy up just a little bit more. Yeah, we'll do that. In the meantime, we can get ready to, well, it's hot, but it's not that hot. I can touch it. It's cooked, so I can touch it, right? Let's just slice this up just a little bit more. I love the seasoning and the seasoning and andouille sausage. The smell is like, oh, great. All that Cajun seasoning in it. Just sopped all up in that little sausage. Good stuff. So now we're going to go ahead and saute our veggies in the skillet. We're going to saute it with, not Crisco, butter. Throw that in there. We're going to saute your veggies right inside that skillet. Put it on a medium heat. We don't have to put salt in it to sweat them because there's already salt in the butter. As I said, it's salted butter, so you don't have to add any salt to it unless you want a salty dish. As I said earlier in the video, hey, some people like it. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and saute these veggies. Let's go ahead and do that. Our shrimp is done. Aren't they pretty? Look at them. Got all that wonderful Old Bay on them. Just glistened all up in that Crisco. Beautiful. Veggies in the skillet with that butter. Mix it all up. Like I said, you don't have to add any salt. There's already salt in the butter. It's all about compensation, man. Balance the stuff out. Don't over season your food. Have it flavorful, have it seasoned. But you don't want to kill anybody. You don't want to make anyone sick. If If you already have a salty element, less is more, man. So we're going to go ahead and saute these until they're salty. I'm hungry. We're going to saute these until they're tender, and then to this we will add our andouille sausage. This is going to be beautiful. It's going to be wonderful. Look at the grits. It's the grits for me. Jesus. Just thick, cheesy, bubbling all up. See all that grit and cheese and garlic just plopping all up out that pot? That's wonderful. You're going to enjoy this one. Oh, man, I can't wait. I can't wait. So our sauteed veggies are just about done. I'm going to add that andouille sausage to that, like we said. Oh, yeah. Get that fatty element on our sauteed veggies. As if butter isn't enough fat by itself, right? Butter make everything better. Paula Deen said that. So I didn't coin that one, but that's Paula Deen. So we're going to go ahead and saute this all together. Let it get crisp all up inside that skillet there. And then we're going to show you what we did. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, ma'ams and sirs, Mr. and Mrs., grandma and grandpa, auntie and uncle, cousin and them. Here goes your Cajun shrimp and grits. Wow! Jesus. I sprinkled a little bit of that basil on there. Yeah, I didn't forget about the basil. But this is going to be something wonderful. Do you see that? I've got to blow it because it's going to be hot. That's great. I got to be sure. Hold on a second. Let me see something. See something right quick. Oh, man. See that cheese just came up off? Ooh. See that cheese just came up off of there? That's good. It's real good. It's good. It's good. It's like, I don't know. It's good. Hello. All right. And so our Cajun shrimp and grits is officially done. I do want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your views. We are now at 314 subscriptions. Thank you so much for that. If you have not subscribed, I really don't know what the problem is. How long have I been telling you? Hit that post notification bell on the bottom left, bottom right of your screen and select all. So you'll be notified every time that Chef DJ is posting another video for your tasting pleasure. With that being said, you can close your seasoning cabinet and sit down and eat your Cajun shrimp and grits. We're officially done.